Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
First, you talk first. I talk first.
Well, I guess I'm talking first. Steven just disappeared again. We're having some internet issues
My
there.
Internet's going bad too. Something is just not allowing me. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. Oh my goodness, I even tested my internet before. Just everything seemed to be fine. All right, so Steve, having crazy difficulties today. I'm so sorry, everybody. If things happen, we'll just continue on. Mike will continue going, and I will go out, come back in, and fix what I need to do. Because my goodness, we've never had so much problems. And it's my internet's going crazy.
Nope.
Ratchet. It's getting me all flustered. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, who's all flustered and discombobulated, Mr. Stephen Boster, along with my great friend, who's very patient towards his friend, Mr. Mike Shakes. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom land. Let's try to get through this one now.
Right? I agree. Man, I tested my internet before.
And you just kind of went away again. What happened? I think we just lost
just
Steven.
before we went on, and it was fine. I think that was what was happening before too. Let's see. Yeah, I'm getting the oops. Am I back now? I got the oops. Am
You
I
are
back?
At least right now.
You're
You're showing yellow bars. So
yeah, it's showing yellow and it keeps dropping. So I don't know what the story is, why it keeps doing that. I did one of those speed test things to see, and it said I was doing great, whatever, but I guess it's intermittent. Maybe my internet's intermittent.
That could
be.
Yeah,
Still, I got yellow bars. Hopefully it'll get back and we'll get through the rest of the show. Because
I think I'm gonna have to do some. I think I'm gonna have to do some editing on the audio side of this one.
I'm so sorry, man, because that's all like a lot of extra work, and the goal is not to have you have a lot of extra work.
You just want me to have more practice as a audio editor, don't you?
Right? I guess so. Maybe. No, we'll just leave it be. All right, I got full green bars, so hopefully I'll have that for a while.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, we'll see. Right? Man. Yeah. Okay. Hey, life happens and it's a conversation. Mike and I get together. We talk all things geekdom and just have a great time. And this is just all part of it. So I'm just going to keep moving forward, my friend. All right. Now, we are talking today about the Book of Boba Fett, episode 2. We're doing a review on that. And as we normally do, we do just a real quick, give our ratings and what we liked about it, or just a little brief review, non-spoilers. Then we move into spoilers, give our little spoiler warning, and then we'll have that discussion. So, Mike, do you want to go first this time in regards to about this episode? I know you love Boba Fett, so I'm like, honor should be for you to go first.
I love this episode. I really enjoyed the first episode, and I actually I've watched the episode twice, and I watched 1 and 2 back to back the first time I watched it. It really does feel like this should have been one big episode. This is, we had like part 1 and part 2, and that's okay. That's just how Disney decided to divide it up. That's fine, whatever. But I think it would have been cool to have them both together. Would have been nice. I really, really enjoyed this episode. There were a lot of good insight into the Tuscan Raiders, and I'll try not to give too many spoilers yet, because I know we like to go spoiler free in the first moments of the podcast.
Right.
But a lot of good moments of learning about the Tuscan Raiders, learning about their society, things that we'd never seen before. I thought was really cool. Learned a lot about the gaffy stick. That was awesome. Learned a little bit about Boba Fett. I mean, not a whole lot, but learned about him and his new role, I should say.
Mhm.
Saw some aspects of that and what's going on and where this is possibly heading to, and saw a nice little reveal of some new characters that was very fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was great.
Mhm.
And for our rating, I think we're gonna go gaffy sticks on this.
I love it. I love it. Yeah,
You
let's
gotta
do
go
that.
gaffy sticks. Oh, and that's another thing. So, if you guys have been listening to us for the last year, you know that I am a vintage, cl- uh, vintage action figure collector, and I love the vintage action figures. And I got a feeling after this episode, the price on gaffy sticks, original gaffy sticks, is about to skyrocket
Right.
because I think everybody's going to be looking for them after this episode.
Yep.
Anyway,
I agree. I agree. Oh my goodness. So how many gaffy sticks did you give this
I
episode?
will give it 4.5 gaffy sticks, maybe 4 3/4.
Okay. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Here you go, everybody. Now, who's the guy who said last week, you know, I really think they should have released 2 episodes?
Yep, you did.
And absolutely they should have at once, because you were right. The episode 1 and 2 seemed more cohesive together for a beginning story. I struggled with episode 1 a little bit. But this second episode, 5 out of 5 gaffy sticks for me.
Nice,
5 out of 5. Nothing's perfect, but I loved
right.
it. I wanted to see it a second time. I did see it a second time. I thought, I set it up to like, I'll watch 1 and 2 together. Mike did that. I'll watch 1 and 2. I'm like, I started episode 1 and I said, I'm not going to watch this one again, but I want to watch the second one again. And so I just said, forget it. I'll just watch the second one. There are incredible Easter eggs in this one. In this episode, the story was great. We got a fun train heist.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was great story. It was great fun. It was heartfelt. This episode was so good. I was like, gosh, I wish this was the first one. And the number 1 and 2 should have been one big opening movie, for lack of a better term, to start off the series. This was fabulous. I loved learning about the Tuscan Raiders, getting more info. There's a great Easter egg in there as well later on. I don't want to spoil anything yet. That I didn't know, but we're friends with someone on Facebook who's been on the show, who gave a great thing. So we'll get into that. And I'm so pumped to talk about that.
Okay.
So it's for me, this was outstanding. Here's the thing. I would go back and watch it a third time. Now that's a big deal for me, because I don't have a whole lot of time. So I have to be very picky about what I watch and why I watch it.
But this is Boba Fett, man.
This is Boba Fett. And after the first episode, I was like, well, okay, it was good. I enjoyed it. That's fine. But this one, I have to watch it again. Absolutely have to watch this again. I just so jam-packed with information, with world building, with characters and tribes and societies, like you said earlier. This is just fabulous. It was a great episode. 5 out of 5 for me.
Nice.
Hands down.
Well, I didn't want to give it a 5 because we said we don't like to hand out 5s, for a lot. And again, as much as I love Boba Fett and I love this episode, it's still not perfect, but man, it was so much fun. It was so
Right.
good of an episode.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right.
this is a must see for me.
Agreed.
And it just really was. So, all right. So, we got to go through spoilerific territory here.
All right.
All right.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler
All
alert.
right, here's the spoiler alert.
We're hitting spoilers, everybody. I'm going to put it, spoiler talk happening now. All right. We're talking spoilers, everybody. Okay. So when it opens up, you see Fennec walking that guy, their prisoner, the assassin guy. I'm going, Now, one, how long of a walk is that? Did you really walk that whole way? That's where my
Well,
brain went.
it doesn't matter. You had to get that shot of the giant door to
Mm.
Jabba's palace because George Lucas loves that door. Because I mean, he made it pretty big in the original cut of Return of the Jedi, and
Yeah.
then when he did the special edition Return of the Jedi, we got to make it bigger. I love that door. We got to make the door bigger. I want a big door. So
Right.
it's got to be giant. Jabba, he's huge, and we got to have a big door for him.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. Well, it was good. It was iconic because it did take me back to Return of the Jedi. And I get the whole thing with him walking outside so you could see the whole, monastery, ex-Jabba, ex-monastery, ex-Jabba's palace, now
I can't wait to see this parking spot for the Slave One.
right.
I'm waiting for that, man.
Right.
I know it's coming.
Mhm. So we get in there, so they try to interrogate the prisoner, and you find out he's an assassin from the Order of the North Wind. I can't remember all of a sudden.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the order. And it was new to Star Wars. There was a few new things that were created in this episode. Not that that's a problem. I mean, I have no issue with them creating new things because they all sounded very Star Warsy. But yeah, this new order is something brand new. I don't think it's been in the comic books or anywhere. So it was brand new to Book of Boba Fett, which again,
Right.
that's fine. No problem.
Well, I like it. Here's the thing I like about it is, we're getting a bigger look into the underground world.
Right.
And I was totally okay with it. Oh, a guild of assassins. Very cool,
I like Fennec Shan when she goes, "You're paying for the name."
Yeah, right. I was like, you know what? That's kind of like our own world. You're paying for the name.
Right. I like Fennec Shan. She's great. She's been an awesome addition to the show.
An incredible addition to the show. Yeah, I can't believe she's like in her later 50s.
Yeah, I know.
She doesn't even look it. I mean, it's just like
she doesn't at all.
Right? I need to start working out a whole lot more.
I don't think you're gonna look as good as her. So.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so they've got this assassin guy. Oh, he's never going to talk. And then you find out where the secret button is to
wait a minute. Now,
pit.
when they were trying to get him to talk, I loved it when he spoke Huttese. That was awesome. Because what did he say? He's the phrase he said, Jabba has said before, and I was like, "Oh, that was great! I loved it." So yeah, and the fact that a human was speaking Huttese, that blew my mind. I loved it. Fantastic.
And I liked how he said, "We saved your life, and you cursed me."
Right,
kind of a thing. I was like,
right.
Oh, right.
So then we get the moment, which is so funny because, like you said, we find out where the secret switch is for the release of the trapdoor,
secret hatch trapdoor, right?
Yeah, right, for the Salak pit, or not the Salak pit, for the Rancor pit. And I mean, okay, so there was part of me that went, "Yeah, we're gonna see the Rancor," and then when he falls, and then the giant door opens. And there's nothing there, and I went, "Oh yeah, that's right. The Rancor's dead."
Right, Luke killed him.
But it still made for a great moment, even though there was a slight letdown for me because I wanted to see that Rancor eat him.
Right,
kind of like we saw the Rancor eat the Gamorrean guard in the original Return of the Jedi, but then I was like, okay, well they're staying consistent. Luke killed the Rancor. And somebody else was saying online that it just goes to show you that Rancors are not an easy thing to come by. You know, they're not of Tatooine. They have to bring them in from another planet, which we saw
Mhm.
that in uh Bad Batch.
We did
We
see a
saw that
Bad
in Bad
Batch.
Batch.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right. That's right.
So anyway, uh I think that works well with the story. And it was so funny because that guy was crapping his pants.
I know, right? He was like, the mayor sent me.
I loved it.
Yep. So then they go see the mayor. Well, we got to go take a trip to see the mayor now. So they go see the mayor. And I love how they're walking through the city and you see all the Trandoshans.
Yeah, if we do not get Bosk, I am going to be pissed off.
I think it's all a setup. It's all a setup. It's got to be a setup.
I mean, when did so many Trandoshans get on Tatooine, man? I mean, how many times have we been to Tatooine? Over 40 years of Star Wars. Okay.
Right.
I mean, we start Star Wars on Tatooine. And then we go back to Tatooine in Return of the Jedi. And we go to Tatooine during the prequels, you know. And I'm pretty sure we've been to Tatooine during Clone Wars, and you know, I don't know if we went to it. I don't think we went to it in Rebels. I think they stayed away from it in Rebels. And of course, the new movies, they decided to make a new sand planet, Jakku, instead of going back to Tatooine. But anyway, we've been to Tatooine so many times, and not once have we seen a Trandoshan. In 2 episodes, we've seen what? I don't know, a half a dozen Trandoshan?
If not more. Not more. I was
like they're hanging out everywhere, man.
I know. It's like this whole city's Trandoshan. What's going on?
What did they take over Tatooine? What the heck happened here?
Right. Right.
So if we don't see freaking Bosk, I am going to be pissed.
Here's what I will say about it. They look great. Every single one of them in that city looked great.
Which is really another reason I want Bosk.
Right. Maybe he gets Bosk to help him fight. Oh, I don't want to say anything. I'll say it later. Sorry.
And when did Transoceans learn English? Or, well, I'm sorry, not English, basic, because they speak basic.
They call it basic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
I don't know.
That's my little rant. Sorry.
Right. No, that's okay. So then they go to see the mayor, and then, you know, of course, you got the guy at the desk. Do you have an appointment? And I was like, first of all, first time I watched it, oh, okay, that's kind of funny. The second time I was like, yeah, move along.
Yeah, I saw him and I thought Joe Dirt. Dude, could you get any bigger of a mullet? Right. I think he had a bigger mullet than I did in the 80s.
And I got a picture of that.
Shut up. We're not posting it. All right. And Roger, if you're listening and you post it, I will take it off.
So they go in, and of course we get,
because he would do that to me.
He probably would.
Oh, he would.
What's the name of the guy who went to go see it? The representative of the mayor. We saw him in the first episode, and he was a little. First, I thought he was kind of overacting.
Oh, the Twilight, the one that came to Boba and was expecting the tribute from Boba.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Aren't I the crime lord?
Right. And I thought, first I thought he was overacting the role, but then when I saw him this time, I'm like, no, he's just doing really well playing a good Weasel character.
Yeah, I didn't think he was overacting. I mean, okay, he's overacting, but he's not. It's not a missight as an actor, It's not a.
It's the character, right?
Yeah, it's the character. It really is the character.
It's like the character himself is overacting on purpose, and the reason I want to say that is, so they go into I'll explain that in a minute. So when they go in, and here comes the Weasley assistant to the mayor. Oh well, I'm so sorry, he's indisposed. And like, whatever, it's so funny how they're trying to play off Boba Fett as the crime lord kind of a thing. It's so interesting.
I love how Boba Fett's like, yeah, just get out of my way.
Right. And so he goes in, and you see the mayor And that's an incredible scene. That whole scene was really good. And he said, like, why would I hire, the whole thing was, why would I hire an assassin? I thought, okay, either realistically the mayor didn't, or the Weasley guy is the guy who hired them. So saying that the
Well,
mayor did it.
I kind of think you're right on both accounts. I think he got the command from the mayor to go hire them.
Okay.
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 Because like the big boss doesn't get his hands dirty.
Okay. I like that.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, let's take this from a Godfather aspect. The Godfather himself isn't going to hire the killer. He's going to tell his right-hand man, which is this guy. I'm sorry, I can't think of his name, the character's name, but the Weasley guy. He's going to tell him, go hire this group. So, yeah. And then what's he do? He has one of his men shoot him.
I know, right? The mayor's like gives a little hand motion and pew pew.
Here's your bounty for that.
Right.
I think that was a backhanded compliment too.
Yeah.
Like you think you're a crime lord, but you're just a bounty hunter. You know what I mean? And you're a good bounty hunter, but you're not a crime lord. I think that's what he was trying to say there. So here's your little tribute.
Yeah.
Go away.
Now let me offer you some advice as tribute.
Right.
Running a family is not as easy as you think it is.
It's not as easy as bounty hunting.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's what he said. That's right. Yeah.
So we had a callback to the first episode when he said, when Boba Fett says, bounty hunting is not an easy occupation.
Yeah.
I may have the line a little bit wrong, but
it's a parallel.
Yeah.
It's parallel. It rhymes.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. I haven't got any George Lucas impersonations in a few episodes, so
you haven't. So yeah, we're getting them all in now. All right, so here's the dealio. So I kind of want to move along. So he says, "Hey, go to Garza's in Garza's. Is that the name? It stinks being old. I should write all these names down.
Well,
try to keep up.
And that's like he has a name. I don't remember Jabba actually being called that, but he has a title.
Daimyo.
Daimyo.
Daimyo. Because I have subtitles on. Because I had to like
Yeah, I got to start doing that. Yeah, I got to start doing that. That's something that Jason Swank had suggested over at RFR. That he goes, pro tip, watch it with the subtitles on. And I was like, it's a good idea. And I still didn't do it. So next episode.
Well, now thanks for sharing that insight with me. I did not know Jason said that.
Well, if you listen to their show, you find these things out.
Again, time. They're great guys, though. They are great guys. Okay, so he goes there and they're like, haven't you heard? The twins have reclaimed, or they've claimed, or whatever, they're reclaiming their cousin's spot. And I'm like, oh, great. Now then okay,
I got a question for you. What did you think when he said the twins?
I had no idea.
Unfortunately, it was spoiled for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I get up at 4 a.m. and I got up, and the first thing I do is I looked at my phone, and you get the little indication that you got Facebook notifications.
Oh, notification. Right.
So I clicked on it, and I'm flipping through my notifications to get rid of the little indicator. And sure, somebody, I'm going to call them out too, in the RFR group, post a picture. They didn't post a picture of the twins themselves, but they post was it Matt Damon? The picture of him pointing at the TV or whatever. I think it's Matt Damon.
You're right. No, that's Leonardo DiCaprio, I think.
Oh yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Matt. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But and then there's it says Jason Swank when he sees there's huts, and I was like, oh crap.
Right.
So I knew there was going to be huts in it. So Yeah, when they said the twins, I wasn't 100% sure because I mean the twins are new. That's another new one because I don't think they were ever mentioned in canon before.
Mhm.
Again, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with that. But
Mhm.
yeah, I was like, they must be talking about the Huts. That got spoiled for me. Dang it.
Well, I did enjoy the aspect of here we now understand what a litter is. Oh, I did not see you come with your litter. And I'm
Oh,
thinking, cat litter? I deal with cats. Cat litter? What? That was in the first episode.
well, they said that they expect them to be carried in and
Right.
everything.
That's true.
So,
So
you
we
know,
actually got to see it.
right.
Now,
Yeah.
all that interchange was fine. The interchange with the Huts, the twins or whatever, and seeing them carrying, the guys or whatever, that's fine. Whatever. That's fine. But this is where I gotta talk to you about this because I knew you would know. I'm like, huh, that Wookiee, where have I
Ah,
seen him before? And so I got, who is that guy? What's the whole story with him? Kind of a thing. Cause I was like, oh, dude, he looks awesome.
honestly, I did not know who he was until this episode. But he has been in Star Wars canon before.
Well, he was
Um,
in the Darth Vader series, wasn't he?
yeah, the comic series, yes, yes,
Yes, the
he
comic
was.
series. Yes.
He is a bounty hunter also, and man, he is badass looking.
Oh, I
Holy
loved
cow.
him.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, wow, this guy is awesome looking. He
Uh-huh.
yeah, Chewie's got some competition for being the coolest Wookiee, that's for sure. I hate to say that because I love Chewie, but man,
Right.
this guy looked awesome, and I don't know what his name is. Right now I'm really bad with the names. I apologize. But he was in the Darth Vader comic series. Darth Vader has hired him, and apparently he was in a Dr. Aphra, which I don't read Dr. Aphra, so I
Mhm.
had no clue of that. But apparently
Okay.
he's been fairly prominent in the Dr. Aphra series.
Okay.
So, but what I really liked about that exchange and them introducing him was the look between him and Boba Fett. That
Mhm.
was awesome
Mhm.
because you know when in on Boba's original outfit, he has a Wookiee braid over his shoulder. There's a braid, and that is a Wookiee braid that he took from a Wookiee scalp from one of his bounties. So Boba has history with Wookiees other than just the Wookiee, Chewbacca.
Mhm.
Um, so that look, I think it was a few things. I think it was, yeah, you're a competing bounty hunter and
Mhm.
don't mess with me from both sides.
Yeah.
And two, it was just Boba going, you're a freaking Wookiee and I'm going to kill you. So there was a good tension there that I really liked. I'm like, "Oh, this could turn into a great story."
Could. Yeah. I was just like, oh, this could be an incredible battle. Now,
Mhm. Yep.
this is where I went back to say, I wonder if Bosk shows up as part of this whole, if there's a big fight sequence will be between bounty hunters.
Ooh.
That's what I was saying. Let me come back to that. And that's the point.
So
Does he
whose
help?
side would Bosk be on?
I don't know. I don't
I don't even
know.
care whose side he is. I just want him.
Right.
I don't care what side you put him on. I don't care if the Hutts hire him. I don't care
Yeah.
if Boba hires him. I don't care who hires. Just bring in freaking Bosk.
Mhm. Now here's okay, so let's talk a little bit of lore here, which I thought was really interesting. Was the they say, hey, we're not going to, bloodshed is bad for business, and then the Huts start, going away. And Fennec says this: you have to get permission to kill them. And I
Yeah.
thought, whoa, how interesting in this world, this underground, the evil underground,
Now, Brenda brought that up to me when we were watching it.
Mhm.
And I had one thinking, but I just watched Emergency Awesome, and
Oh
he brought
yeah.
something else up that I didn't think about. So,
Okay, what did he say?
well, first, when Brenda brought it up to me, and she goes, I don't understand, who would they need to get permission from?
Right.
And I said, well, the only thing I can think of is, technically, in a way, sorta, Boba Fett's now part of the Hutt clan because he's daimyo or whatever of Mos Eisley, Mos
Mos
Espa.
Espa.
Yeah, Mos
Espa.
Anyway, so I go, I guess technically in a way that kind of makes him part of the Hutt clan, sorta.
Mhm.
So I would, and there's a Hutt council, that's been introduced in the Clone Wars cartoon series. There's a Hutt council. So I would think that he would have meant that he had to get permission from the Hutt council in order to kill him. That was my thinking.
Okay.
Kind of like
Okay.
you're within the Godfather family.
Yeah.
You got to get permission within the family. You can't just kill somebody in the family. That was
Right.
my thinking. Emergency Awesome brought up something interesting that I didn't think of, though. They brought up the fact that the Hutts control this area, and the Hutts were watching the war between the Imperials and the Rebellion. And basically, the Hutts were going to side with whoever won the war. So, since technically the Rebellion has won the war, and we have the Alliance taken over, technically they're siding with the Alliance, and he says that she's making the reference that he would have to get permission from the Alliance to kill the Hutts. So I was like, that's interesting thinking. I still lean towards the family side because this is all going along, kind of with Godfather lore and stuff, and I still think it falls into the family. So it could be either way. So,
boy, that got me pondering. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Boy, yeah. My first inclination was the Hutt Council. That was my first inclination.
Right. Yep. That was mine too. So I thought he had an interesting idea there, and I think it's worth, like you said, pondering. But I'm still siding with my original idea that she's saying he would have to get permission from the Hutt Council. That's what I think. But
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see as time goes by.
As time goes on, right? Yeah. So here, so then there's that, and then we see him back in the back of the tank, kind of a thing. And I do like how they're doing the flashbacks. I do like it.
Now, this episode was a lot of the flashback.
Yes,
we got a whole lot of Tuscan Raiders in this one, which I loved. I thought was fantastic.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Absolutely, yes.
So yeah, what were you gonna say about the Tuscan Raiders?
Okay, so full spoiler alert. There's the whole train heist. I see this. There's three parts to this whole how shall I say, the whole Tuscan Raider flashback. There's the part of learning to fight with a gaffy stick, the train robbery, and then, or the train heist, whatever, and then becoming a member of the clan, that Tuscan clan.
Yes.
That part of the Tuscan clan, and I'm just jumping ahead real quick just to answer your question. We can come back to it. The scene where he has his stick, and then you see in the background they show him, and then there's that whole area where they are creating his gaffy stick with that stick, that tree branch.
Right.
That our friend Paul Bateman posted, stating that's Ralph McQuarrie concept art that they brought back.
Yeah, that was cool too.
That is awesome. So that's what I was referencing. I thought, how cool is that? That whole Easter egg where they're bringing back some of Ralph McQuarrie's concept art.
Now, I also found out that the gaffy stick is actually modeled after a real weapon.
Really?
Yeah, somebody posted this morning that the weapon that it's modeled after is called the I'm gonna murder this, but
Okay.
Totokia, which is also known as a pineapple club or a beaked battle hammer. And wow, it looks a lot. Let me see if I can get you a picture. But
Okay. Cool.
yeah, it looks a lot like the gaffy stick. I was really impressed with this.
You're not spreading misinformation, are you? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, if I am, it's coming from Wikipedia, so they
We'll
they
see.
shared it. So if anyone's spreading misinformation, it's them. So I'll put the anyway, keep talking while I find the
Yeah, sure.
picture.
So let me go back in time, and because there's some other Easter eggs I want to talk about. So the first section of this whole Tuscan Raider scene, we see him learning to use the gaffy stick, kind of doing a kata, learning how to use it, and then they're fighting and stuff.
That was
And
a great scene too.
yes, great scene. And that is a woman. Remember how last we were like, I think that's a woman. You were right, because it was a stunt woman who was doing it, because she complimented everybody on just her part and all that. I saw
Well,
that.
I can't take credit for that. That was Jimmy Mack of RFR. He was the one that said it was he was the one that said it was a female. So
Yeah.
I won't take credit for that one. But
It was a great fight sequence.
oh,
Then at the end of that, we see the train. Here comes the train. In the train, you just kind of see some guys in there,
which was a huge callback to Solo, the Solo movie.
It was.
I mean, because
I agree.
we had a train heist in Solo, and they brought the Pikes back, and I do like the Pikes. They're cool. Here, let me show you something real quick. I found
Okay.
I found the web
got it?
page. I found the so there it is, and I don't know if I can zoom in on that.
So everybody, we're
There we
looking
go.
at it, and there's the picture in a museum.
I mean, and look how close that resembles the gaffy stick.
Sure does. Sure does. Go back to the Wikipedia site. Do they say where that's from? Boy, that looks a whole lot like the gaffy stick.
And see, there's some kind of warrior or something holding it too.
Oh, Fijian. So Fiji. So it's from Fiji. So the Fiji island, or the island of Fiji, excuse me. Pineapple Club, because the spiked end looks like a pineapple. It sure does.
Yep. Isn't that cool? I really like cool. I thought that was neat. So
how interesting.
So yeah, the gaffy stick is modeled after a real life weapon.
That's cool.
George Lucas really pays attention to different cultures. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Because he's the one that came up with the gaffy stick. So, or I'm assuming, I'm guessing he's the one that came up with it.
Right.
It's really hard to say,
right.
And Star Wars is his creation, so I'll give the credit to him.
Yeah. Well, it was great to see them do the whole fighting with it and everything. So,
not just the fighting, but we got the whole process of building the gaffy stick.
Yes,
that was cool.
It was very cool.
And now it's now canon that the Geico lizard is now in Star Wars, which I had no idea that the Geico lizard, and not only is he canon in Star Wars, but he's a freaking drug.
Right? He's a guide. He's a guide, not a drug. He got
whatever.
Spice.
That was
spice in the face, and then
whatever. That was an entire scene right out of the Doors movie, man. I watched that whole scene in the Doors. Jim Morrison went out into the desert, and he got totally stoned, and that was the Doors. I'm sorry. They should have been playing "This Is the End." Or "Break On Through to the Other Side," or whatever.
Break on through the outside, be good. Yes.
Break on through the other side. That probably would have been a good one.
Yep.
But yeah.
All right. So, well, let me go back, because we're kind of walking through things. So we see.
I had to get my jokes in.
I know, it's all good. So we see the train come through, and then just shooting at the Tuscan Raiders, and so and then they lose some. There's some stakes here.
Yeah.
Some are getting killed and stuff, and so of course it makes Boba Fett very angry, and you wouldn't like him when he's angry, and he's like, I'm gonna take care of them. And what's interesting is he sees those guys on the bikes later on, on the speeder bikes. He sees those guys and recognizes them from the ones that attacked the moisture farm.
Right. Now, okay, before we go on to that, I want to say when the train comes through and the Tuscan Raiders, they start. I don't know if you can really say they attack the train or the train attacks them. It's kind of hard to really figure out what that was.
Who shot first?
Right. Yeah. Who shot first? Good analogy there. Anyway, but my first thinking, all I could picture were the Tuscan Raiders on the track in episode 1 shooting at the
pod racing.
At the pod racing. That's all I could think of. I was like, okay, well, I guess now we are heading into territory that they're marauders,
Mm-hmm.
And then as that scene goes on, we find out that no, they're not really the marauders. They're really protecting their area. They're protecting their claim.
And I thought that was great. That was great
storytelling. I did too. I mean,
great.
This whole episode gave you a total different look at the Tuscan Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we learn there are different tribes, and some tribes are nothing but murderers, which is what
and murderers and marauders and all that. Yes.
Which is what I think we see in A New Hope. That's what Luke and Obi-Wan come across.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a feeling most of the people of Tatooine probably look at the Sand people or the Tuscan Raiders in that light. They don't see this aspect of the Tuscan Raiders. So there are different tribes who act differently. And I really liked that. I thought it was interesting lore on the Tuscan Raiders that we never got.
Agreed.
And I'm hoping we can get a previous guest back who has written the Tuscan Raiders, because I would absolutely love to get his take on these and see what he thinks of it. I got a feeling he's going to love it too, but anyway.
Yep. So let's talk about the train heist scene, because you brought something. Well, no, not yet. I'm sorry, because if we're going, how does he get the speeder bikes for the Tuscan? For the train scene?
Because that is a scene that calls back to a cut scene from Star Wars: A New Hope.
I thought you would know about this. Yes, I want to hear this.
You should know this too, because this ties back to you and I. Do you remember years and years ago? I'm going to tell a story about when Stephen and I were much younger. And
much more younger.
Yes, much more younger. And there was a special CD-ROM that came out that had cut scenes from Star Wars: A New Hope that at that time were never before seen, or very rarely seen, if that. And we went to Best Buy, and I think you and I split the price of it, and I copied the disc and gave you a copy of it.
Oh.
I think I still actually have the disc somewhere. If I look for it, I'll bet I could find it.
Probably. I probably got it some box stored away, not realizing what it is.
That has the deleted scene of Luke. But I was going to go into Tosche Station and pick up some power converters. You can waste time with your friends later.
Right.
Okay, so that is the cut scene where he goes to Tosche Station and we meet his friends Fixer and Cammy. And it looked identical. When Boba Fett walks in, the door looks identical. Everything looks identical to that scene.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently we actually get Fixer and Cammy in this scene. So they are officially canon, which is pretty darn cool. So yeah, that scene just ties back to you and I.
Yeah. So are we saying that scene then therefore makes the deleted scene canon?
I would guess so. I mean,
Okay.
they now exist in the Star Wars universe officially, so
Right.
they may have been in some of the comic books and stuff like that too. I don't know.
Yep.
I think the radio drama, I have a copy of that somewhere. I think they're in the radio drama too, but I don't know if the radio drama is considered canon.
They're
or
in the
not.
comic book. From my
Are they in the
understanding,
comic
they're in the comic book. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
So
but no,
very
I thought
cool.
that was a great callback. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
So we go to Tashi Station, and we get to see Tashi Station, and we get to see some awesome fighting from Boba Fett.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and
Oh,
he's
my
using the gaffy stick, and he's just
Yeah.
knocking
his wooden
crap.
practice gaffy stick that
Well,
held
first-
up better than the gun that he had.
Right. Well, guns aren't meant to hit people over the head with, especially long guns.
Well, I thought it brought great realism to the fight.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I did.
he broke his gun,
Well, it just gives them the opportunity to show him being a total badass with the gaffy stick, and
Yes.
I love it. That's
Yes.
so cool.
Yes. Yeah. And and the other time we got to see that was Mandalorian, which was with the gaffy stick that he had made that we see at the end. I was like, oh, I don't want to.
And I love that look he gets just as he's about to bash him in the head.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
intense look. It's like
The intensity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fantastic. Love it.
Yep. So then he gets the speeder bikes, and then we get he takes them back. We get the little montage, the training montage of him teaching the Tuscans, but they learn, and so, which is really cool.
But it was hilarious because at first they were going to rip those bikes apart, and he's like, "No,
wait." I loved how he said, "These are mine." I'm like,
mine.
No, you just said they were a gift.
I thought that too, but I think he was just trying to establish: do not tear these up.
Right. These have a purpose.
Right.
So yeah. So then we get the train heist, and we get to see, which was just phenomenal. The action was great, that whole sequence. But you're right, we got the pikes. I'm like, the whole time at the beginning, I'm like, boy, they look familiar. Why did they look so familiar? And I'm like, oh, it's the pikes.
Yep, and they're running spice.
Right. So
fantastic.
in this instance, we get the introduction yet of another syndicate, the Pike Syndicate. Another, again, we're fleshing out this criminal
introduction because they were introduced in the Solo movie. So
they were. I just meant to the show. And what I love about it is this whole criminal underworld is starting to, we're getting, we're creating this lore. We're creating this, world building of the criminal underworld of the Star Wars universe. And I love it. I love it.
I loved how Boba Fett was like, look, you're coming across their land. If you want to come across, you got to pay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was great. And the Pikes were like, yeah, okay, whatever, which is cool because, the Pikes seem to be very dominant in the Solo film. It seemed like nothing could stop the Pikes. Yeah, right. Well, they were scared to death of Boba Fett.
That they were. Absolutely.
I loved it. And we got to see them without their helmets because I don't think we saw them without their helmets in Solo. Not that I remember. Might have to go back and rewatch Solo and see if we've seen that. But
right,
because I was like, oh, they look kind of cool without their helmets. Yeah, that's neat. I like that.
Yep, it was great. That was just a fantastic scene of. It was just a great action sequence. Train heists are always fun. It's like the old cowboys. Taking over the train and all that kind of stuff. And
did you see what John Keller posted when I posted the episode? John Keller posted, or I made a comment about the episode. I don't remember exactly what I said, but John Keller made the comment that I never realized that I needed more train heists in Star Wars until now.
I did see that. I forgot about it.
It was
That's
great.
right.
It was a good comment.
It was a great comment. Yep. Yeah, I just loved every minute of it. I thought it was great to see the Tuscan Raiders and attacking the train, and and here they are. We thought they were just uncivilized raiders, kind of a thing. Well, guess what?
I killed them all, the women and children even. They're animals. I hate them.
Right.
Yeah, I don't do a good Anakin voice. Sorry.
That's all right. So it was I thoroughly enjoyed that whole sequence. It really did. I mean, goodness, how many train heists have I seen? 310 to Yuma. I've seen. There's a train heist in Firefly show. There's we got to see Solo. There's tons of train heist sequences at Lone Ranger. Lone Ranger movie. There was one. So this one was really enjoyable. It was an enjoyable, and we're either latching on and then seeing one jump to another speeder, and it was just epic. It was a lot of fun.
Very, very Western,
Yes.
Yeah, very Clint Eastwoody Western type.
I love space Westerns. I love space Westerns. And that's exactly what this was. The whole thing is one big space Western, and I love it. Love it, love it, love it. How many times have I said that? Every time I say that, everybody take a drink. No, I'm just kidding. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it.
I would have had an entire bottle of tequila gone by then.
All right. So then he comes back, and the head of the Tuscan clan there, says, "I have a gift for you," and that's where we see Geico Lizard do his thing along with the spice. He throws spice in his face, and then has the Geico Lizard. Oh, my dogs are going to start barking.
You could save 20% by switching now.
Yeah, right.
I wish somebody would have said that.
Right. How's your insurance on these speeder bikes?
Right.
We need the Geico.
Get you good rates.
Right.
Never in my life did I think that I was going to get the Geico Lizard in Star Wars.
In Star Wars, right.
Yeah. And then he crawls up Boba Fett's nose.
Right.
It was so weird. That was the weirdest thing ever.
It was like, oh. And I loved how, he has his trip, whoa, kind of a thing. And, a lot of illustrations. And I'm sure there's a whole lot of, not Easter egg moments, but allegorical
things. Like
licking
the frog. Or toad or whatever, that there's some people say that you get high off of licking toads or some, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I didn't say to do it. I'm not doing it either. Of course, I'm not going to suck a lizard up my nose either, for that matter.
Right. Oh my goodness. Right. Ugh. So he comes back with a stick, and then the clan leader opens up the little box again, and the lizard comes out.
As soon as he got the branch or whatever, I knew right away. I go, that's going to become his gaffy stick. I knew it right then. I'm like, that's his gaffy stick. This is his trip to get his gaffy stick, and it's got to be his gaffy stick.
Yeah.
And then we see the process of building the gaffy stick, which I thought was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah.
That was another thing. That was another thing in Star Wars I never thought I'd get.
The making of a gaffy stick.
Yeah. That was so cool. I'm sorry I tread over you.
No, that's okay. I was just saying, one of the cool things from the culturalistic speaking for the Tuscans, you get to see him in those robes, put him in the Tuscan garb. I assume Tuscan garb, because that's what we see him in Mandalorian, right?
Yes.
That was the same outfit, right?
Yep, exactly.
That's what I thought.
I think it looked a little more worn in Mandalorian because there had been some time between.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, so then we get to see that. Then we get to see him make his gaffy stick, as you said, which was just great.
Do you know how many action figures I want out of this series? I want I want a Boba Fett in Tuscan Raider garb. I want a Boba Fett in just Boba Fett with his new costume with the black pants and the kind of kilty looking thing. I want that. I want a Fennec Shand. Yeah, there's so many action figures I want out of this series. Come on,
Right.
Kenner. Kenner's gone. Hasbro, get to work.
Right.
Why aren't they out? Why can't I go to Walmart or Target and get them right now? The heck is wrong with them?
That's because they don't release them early anymore because it's all spoilers.
No, that's because they never make it to the freaking store.
Oh, that's true too.
I'm going to go off on supply issues, and these long before the supply issues we're having now.
Okay.
Hasbro sucks. Hashtag Hasbro sucks. Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Disney give the license to somebody else. Sorry.
Right. That's all right.
We can move
on. So then after that, we have we get this really cool ceremony around the fire, and where they do the kata form all together, and that was just fabulous to end off of.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked that. I mean, it showed, it showed them almost in the light of an American Indian, which I thought was really cool. And I loved how to me, it looked like their dance, around the fire pretty much mimicked their fighting style, I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah. I thought it was great. I love this episode.
Yeah, it was.
And we got more callbacks to episode 2. We saw flashbacks again, which was cool. And we also learned that there was water on Tatooine at one time.
Yes, right. The lore of Tatooine. Yes,
right. That's something that I had never heard in Star Wars lore before. That Tatooine actually had water on it. So I guess that is another callback to Dune, because the sand planet on Dune had at one time had water on it also.
Right.
Even though I didn't like that movie.
That's all right. That's okay. Oh gosh.
Star Wars is better.
There's all kinds of influences all together, that weave in and
Agreed.
out. So,
Agreed.
So absolutely. Yes.
I don't think there's anything wrong with them taking influence from Dune. They're just taking pieces from Dune and making it better.
Making it much more better.
Yes. Because Dune makes me go to sleep.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
Sorry.
Nope. So yeah, I thought it was a fantastic episode. I really enjoyed it, and I'll definitely watch it again because it's just great. It's just it's probably so far probably one of my best episodes of the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, I think it would go right up there. It still doesn't top Luke Skywalker coming in at the end of Mandalorian season 2.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That's the height. That's the height. And then we get the Boba Fett moment after that. And
right.
But if anything comes close to it, this comes close. It comes very close.
It does. It does.
It's hard to top that Luke Skywalker moment and then the Boba Fett following it. That's
right.
Jeez, right. That's hard to top.
So true. So true. All right. Well, with that, we will wrap it up. Nicely done. Nicely done. Great episode. Any other final thoughts that you have about this episode, though?
Just that Boba Fett rocks, and I can't wait for episode 3.
I know. I was like, man, if, just like we talked about with Hawkeye, each episode got better than the one before.
Yes, I think we're moving in that direction with this.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So
each episode is good. So I'm looking forward to next Wednesday. as well. So, all right, man. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. Real quick, make sure for more information about the show and how to connect with us and all our main hub is 2geeksmike.com, 2geeksmic.com, 2geeksmike.com. That's where you can find all to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Twitch page, as well as our Ko-fi page, kofi.com/2geeks. If you want to help support us in what we're doing, we'd greatly appreciate it. You can buy us a coffee, as we call it, a coffee on Ko-fi, for as little as $3, and that just helps us pay for just being able to stream and our podcast hosting and all that kind of stuff. That's all. So, anyway, yeah, I'm excited. Also, next week, everybody, next week is our 1-year anniversary special episode, January 15th.
Did we decide on a time?
We have not decided on time, but we will post on our all our social media when that's going to be. We've got to work that out, and I'm pretty excited for it because Mike, you did a great job of connecting with some of our previous guests, and they all have special words for us.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch all those. We'll get to see all those next week. We'll kind of go back and reminisce on some of our episodes over the past year. I think we'll talk about how we got started, and it'll be a fun episode. Hopefully you guys can join us. Again, we'll be streaming live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, so you can join us on any of those spots. And then, of course, as always, our audio version will be released on Fridays, as we always do. So,
Woo! All right, man. Well, hey, thank you. Thanks, man, for a great show. This was a good one. I do again apologize for all the technical difficulties. That's my bad on something on my end. It
happens.
You're gracious. Thank you. So, all right. Well, I am signing off, Mike. It's up to you now to finish us out.
Well, with that said, over and out. And I lost my soundboard.
See, it's just one of those days.
Well, it went behind Restream. All right, let's try this again. Over and out, and may the force be with you. Where's my outro? Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,
may the force be with you.